Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all glory, honor, and praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. Double honors to the apostle elders of Great Millstone, rule well. And salutations to all you brothers out there pushing this word in love, truth, sincerity, and humility. Once again, it's the brother Shatir from the Chicago camp, coming back to you with what I hope is another quick and edifying sit down. And, just want to share my thoughts on, this, I guess, lack of a better phrase, holiday season. In particular, just looking at social media and being at the job and just walking around doing my, daily routine in my personal life. You see and hear of a lot of people that have these very lofty goals that they've set for, their so-called New Year's resolution. You know, folks are planning this year to have something big going on and this year or 3 years or 10 years from now. And it's funny, you got the extreme opposite. You got folks out there like, what do you want to do in 2020? And they're like, shit, same thing I was doing in 2019. And, I was just listening and meditating on it through the spirit. And it's one of those things that, as far as it pertains to our people, our folks, they're not hastening for the day of the Lord. I mean, they're not trying to get out of here whatsoever. Everything, all their thoughts are completely, how do I say this? All their thoughts revolve around Babylon. Nothing that they think about is related or even pertains to the truth and our salvation of getting up on out of here. Because the Lord told us, according to the scripture, to wake up out of sleep because our salvation is nearer than what we believe. I think that's in Romans. Yes, Romans 13 and 11. It says, and that knowing the time, that now it is high time to awake out of sleep, for now is our salvation nearer than when we believe. All right? This is what our people should be focused on instead of New Year's resolutions of being the next business partner or forming your own business or, gathering Bitcoin or stocks. And don't get me wrong, okay? There's nothing wrong as far as you wanting to try to make your personal situation a little better. But when that's what your mind is constantly on, everything that's carnal, everything that deals with money or family or whatever it is, and there's no truth, then it doesn't amount to anything. Even the scripture says, and what's that? It's in the Apocrypha, where it talks about how can a man, Ecclesiasticus 38. I think I'm going to start at 24, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, it says, the wisdom of a learned man cometh by opportunity of leisure, and he that hath little business shall become wise. And that pertains to you not being boggled down in all the madness in bad Uncle Esau's kingdom. I mean, granted, as the scripture says, there's certain things that, yes, we do have to render to Caesar, but there's also things that we should re-render into the Lord. Okay? These so-called New Year's, first of all, making a New Year's resolution is madness anyway. But nonetheless, all right, the things that you should be focusing on shouldn't be of that of work and money and business and, you know, uh, notoriety, fame, or just being a damn nigga again for a whole nother year. All right, your mind should be focused and seeing how you can get this truth so you can learn who you are, what your purpose is, and how are you going to be saved up out of this madness. And it says, how can he get wisdom that holdeth the plow, and that glorieth in the gold, that driveth oxen, and is occupied in their labor, and whose talk is of bullocks? All right. So when our people in particular, you so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans, with your mind so focused on these so-called New Year's resolutions, where's your time for the Lord? You hear about getting in shape, money, being more patient, being more kind. Some of you all not taking no bullshit for the new year, all this other stuff. But where's your conversation as far as it pertains to, you know what? How can I learn about my heritage? What can I do to gain knowledge of myself so that I know who I am, what my purpose is, and what I need to do to be saved? Because with the things that I've heard people say, they're not focused on being saved. All right, they don't want this place to end. They hope that America goes on forever and ever. All right, and they can still focus on money, on business, on bitches, on bullshitting, so on and so forth. All right, our people's minds are not focused on the Lord whatsoever. And the times that we are coming in, now more than ever, our minds need to be focused on the Lord. Whoa, what's that? I can't think of it, but it talks about an all holy conversation. What manner of person ye ought to be in a holy conversation? Yes, Second Peter 3:11. And Second Peter 3:11 states, seeing then that all, let me see, do I want to start at 10? Yeah, you know what? I'm going to start at 10. Excuse me. 2 Peter 3:10. It says, but the day of Yahweh will come as a thief in the night, means unexpectedly. It says, in the which the heavens shall pass away with a great noise, and the element shall melt with fervent heat. All right, that's ultimately talking about the climax of the judgment of Babylon the snake and the downfall of bad Uncle Esau and his kingdom. All right, those nuclear missiles. And it says the earth also and the works that are therein shall be burnt up. So as the scripture says, Babylon, that wicked ass place with all manner of foul birds and madness, roughly paraphrasing, all this stuff is going to be destroyed. All right, never to come back again. Evil is never going to rear its ugly head again. All right, the scripture is saying that all these things will be dissolved and put to rest. All right, once the terrible day of the Lord comes. And it says in verse 11, yes, it says, seeing then that all these things shall be dissolved, seeing as all these things are going to be burnt up and put away, never to arise again, what manner of persons ought ye to be in all holy conversation and goodliness. Godliness. So it's saying that knowing that this place is going to be destroyed, all right, and possibly you in it, what mind state should you be in? Should you be in the mind state of, yeah, New Year's, I'm gonna just continue to be a nigga, or 5 years, I'm trying to get this business, or man, I'm about to take advantage of this real estate market and Bitcoin, so on and so forth? Or should your conversation be, you know what? I see what's going down in this world and it's not looking good. I really, if this thing really is true that I need to get right with the Lord, and if I do, I can be saved. I need to find out how I'm going to be saved out of here. And verse 13 says, no, it's verse 12. Sorry about that. 2 Peter 3 and 12. And it says, looking forward and hastening unto the coming of the day of the Most High, wherein the heavens being on fire shall be dissolved, and the elements shall melt with fervent heat. So the scripture is saying that knowing that all the wickedness that bad Uncle Esau has perpetuated since he was Cain, if you can receive that, all the way to this time, all this wickedness is going to be judged and put away forever. All right. Knowing that America is going to get nuked, knowing that all this famine, diseases, martial law, gross death, knowing that all these things are going to transpire and ultimately lead to the missiles, the scripture is saying you need to be in the mindset of getting right with the Lord. And not only getting right with the Lord, but being eager and being on fire and hoping that the Lord is going to speed this thing up so you can get up on out of here. Because as the scripture says, this is not our rest. You know, I want to get that word, looking forward and hastening into the coming. You know, eagerly waiting. This is, what was this? 2 Peter 3 and 12. Let me get that in the blue letter. All right. 2 Peter 3. And we're going to scroll down to 12.
Strong's G 4692.
Spudo. It says to haste, make haste, to desire earnestly. To speed, urge on diligently or earnestly, by implication to await eagerly, make with haste unto. Okay? So this is the mindset that we need to be in. Because unfortunately, it looks like we might be doing another Passover. You know, we might be here for 2020. But nonetheless, all right, as the scripture says, we need to be in the mindset of eagerly anticipating and waiting for the day of the Lord so he can get us up out of this hellhole. This is the mindset that we need to be on. Not some New Year's resolution based on some wicked Greek god. What was it? I think it's Janus, if I'm not mistaken. It's like a two-headed statue. One that supposedly looks in the past and one looks into the future. All right. Your mindset shouldn't be on that. So, like I said earlier, some say, oh, I want to be more patient and kind. I mean, that's not a bad thing to ask for. I'll never say that. But you know, with our people being stuck on that Duke Valentino doctrine of Christianity, all right, they're asking for it in the wrong way. And second of all, they're not even asking their power. They're asking their daddy, bad Uncle Esau. So you know they ain't going to receive that blessing. You know, all these New Year's resolutions. Hey, you so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans, let that stuff go. Let these old Babylonian customs and mindsets, just let it go. Because as I've stated, and as many brothers have stated in their videos, the bad Uncle Esau has definitely repped up his slander campaign with these false flags, these false accusations. Anything regarding gun confiscation is quickly and vastly approaching. ID 2020, the RFID chip, all right, this peculiar weather creating gross famines across the world. Hey, you jakes out there, there's no time to waste. You need to hasten toward this truth, and you need to hasten toward the coming of the Lord, because things are going to get very bad out here. And as the scripture says, specifically it says, where there's no hedge, there's no protection. All right. So if the Lord is not dealing with you, the Lord is not dealing with you. Hey, there's a very good reason. I believe it was King David who said this, where he said, it is a fearful thing to fall into the hand of the living power. The doors of mercy are closing, Jake. Get right before it's too late. So with that being said, I want to give all glory, honor, and praises to Yahweh Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai. Double honors to the apostle elders, the great millstone who rule well. And salutations to all you brothers out there pushing this word in love, truth, sincerity, and humility. With that, we're going to say shalom.